Here for Showrunner Secrets from the Set. So, hey, check this out. The live video streaming industry has increased by 99% in 2020. If you take away any stat from today's show, that would be it. According to a roundup of data from Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and Daily Esports, there has been a 99% year-over-year growth in hours of live stream video watched between April 2019 and April 2020. Think about that. Given that this data was compiled just a month after nationwide school and workplace closings went into effect, it's pretty safe to assume that this growth has steadily increased throughout 2020. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this episode of Showrunner. If you've ever been wondering how you can leverage everything that you know about Ecamm Live and live streaming, then this is the episode for you. We're talking about the evolution of live streaming and the rise of remote live video production. So let's get to it. 'Cause it's finally here, finally, yeah, oh, 'cause it's finally here, finally, yeah, ooh. What's up, Ecamm fam? I'm Stephanie Liu, and welcome to Showrunner Secrets from the Set, where we share tips on how you can launch a successful remote live video production. And today, I'm excited to share with you the evolution of live streaming, the rise of remote live production, and what that means for you. Yeah, you! This is gonna be so much fun. So be sure to stick around because Katie, Caleb, and I have been thinking of some amazing things that we could give out to you since we're launching a new show. In fact, one of those is going to be a Restream Professional plan to one lucky viewer plus an all-access pass to Unite 2021, a digital marketing conference that teaches everyone about what's happening for marketing in 2021. That's a 685 value, dude. That's a lot. I'm excited. So make sure that you stick around for that to learn up. Plus, oh my goodness. Yes, I love seeing you all pop up. Look at you. Hey, Rob. Right? We're also going to have 4 runner-up prizes for Unite 2021. So we are doing a lot of fun things today for Showrunner. So let's go ahead and give a big shout out to our live audience. I want to see who's... It's Doc. It's Doc. That's it. The show's done. Doc is here. So excited to have everyone here. So excited to have you here. We're going to be talking about remote live video production. And honestly, this is actually going to be a part of a 6-episode series. We're not going to give you everything today about remote live video production, but we're going to start opening up your ideas, brainstorming opportunities on how you could take your love for live streaming, your love for Ecamm, and take it to the next level. Seeing people like Doc in the comments and seeing how you've grown your journey over the past year since you and I first met is absolutely amazing, and I'm excited that you are here. Shout out to C-Dub, yay! And David Smith, who says that he is always learning in the Ecamm Live community. Right? Oh my God, hold up. The Ecamm Live community is absolutely amazing. We're going to talk about all the different shows because if you don't know, Ecamm Live, the actual company name is Ecamm Network. And we have a bunch of amazing content creators that are always putting out helpful guides, tips, resources, behind the scenes tutorials to help you level up your live streaming game. And I'm here to show you love for all of them. All right. So here's a question for you. Listen. If you could package up all of your live streaming knowledge and offer it as a service, how would that impact your life personally and professionally? Tell me about this. If you could package up all of your live streaming knowledge and offer it as a service, how would that impact your life personally and professionally? I know that you've been thinking about this. I know that it's February. I know that there are those of you just like Doc who have been building their shows, launching new things, and you've been wondering, how do I take this to the next level? Okay? Because here's a fact. Fun fact. Honestly, write this down. Write this down. The video streaming industry will be worth 184 billion by 2027. That's 6 years from now. When do you want to plant your stake in the ground and say, I'm here to stay, right? Think about everything that you would do, everything that's possible. Doc is already saying here, I would start a company. Yes. Start a company, right? Harry Jameson says that life would change immensely. Live streaming as a service, LAAS. Kevin, the fact that Kevin is here is, I'm so excited because he's a new friend of mine that I've discovered in the past couple of months too. You guys are doing absolutely amazing, okay? So think of these possibilities. We're gonna talk about different industries that you can tap into. I'm gonna share with you a couple of clients, a couple of projects that I've been working on, and hopefully that's going to inspire you to level up your live streaming, okay? Good. So as I said, Grandview Research reports that the global video streaming market size is expected to reach 184 billion by 2027. They said that the live video segment is expected to portray the maximum and fastest growth over the forecast period. Think about this. Given the applications of live streaming in this new decade, that number isn't really unrealistic. Think about this. Teachers, students, event organizers, and attendees, and even businesses and their engaged social media followers are streaming and consuming live video content now more than ever. And there are those of you in the Let's Get Live crew that I know have been streaming for like 5 hours straight. You guys are absolutely amazing. It blows my mind. Shout out to Alicio, by the way. He says that's a lot of bees. That needs to be like a sound effect. Alicio, Caleb, can you help me out with that? So what I'm sharing with you today, these stats, seriously, if you've been thinking, you're like, hey, is this possible? Can I do that? I'm telling you, yes. I'm telling you, yes, you can. You have permission. You have permission from the Ecamm crew to actually do that. And this is going to be the opportunity for you to write this down, because if you are going to be pitching your services, this is what you want to be telling your prospects, your potential clients, of what it is that you do and what's changing in the live streaming industry. Do you hear me? Y'all hear me? Right? Yes? Good. So with all of these changes, all of these wonderful, beautiful things that are happening in the live streaming industry, right? In the live streaming industry, this has increased supply of live stream video content. It's resulted in an increased audience size. There are those of you that are multi-streaming, streaming on different platforms, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. It also leads to an increased investment opportunity. Listen. Stop what you're doing. If you have other tabs open, you want to go ahead and shut them down. This has led to an increased investment opportunity from advertisers and sponsors. What they're realizing is that display advertising is no longer working. When you have a live streamer, when you have a content creator, someone like Kevin Lyons, someone like India Delgado, right? That are showing up live and giving you tutorials about what it is that they like, they're finding that actually drives more conversions than a display ad. Think about that. We're talking about how you can grow. What we're also realizing is that this increased interest in live streaming is also getting these amazing content creators like you who are looking to disrupt the industry. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to disrupt stuff, right? I'm ready to switch up the game. I'm ready to do something different. So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the evolution of live streaming and the rise of live video production. Yes, Scott Allison is saying that there are a lot of major players in this audience. You guys, this is for you. When Katie had reached out, she's like, hey, I know that you've been doing some remote live video production. Would you be interested in doing a show? And I was like, you mean like a show where I tell them everything that I do? Can we also give like templates and workbooks and all the things? And she's like, well, yes, we can. And I was, count me in. I'm all about that. So here's the deal. If we haven't met yet, I'm Stephanie Liu, and I'm the executive producer for 2 live shows. It's Lights, Camera, Live and Digital Confetti, and this is actually my 3rd, Showrunner Secrets from the Set. If you haven't heard, Lights, Camera, Live is all about shining a spotlight on how brands can go from unknown to unfreaking forgettable by leveraging live video. Then there's also Digital Confetti, which is all about how to repurpose your live streams and sprinkle it all across the internet so that way people find out how amazing you are, so you could build your brand and your bottom line. Now, truth be told, my background is in marketing. I'm an ad agency veteran. I spent the last decade and a half deep in the trenches of agency life. And it wasn't until 2015, until I had my daughter, that I embraced the idea of live streaming. Okay? Because I knew that if I was going to leave the ad agency world and I wanted to start my own consulting firm, I had to stand out from the sea of sameness. While everyone else was calling themselves a digital marketing strategist, I wanted to show prospects what I could do. And that's where Ecamm came in, right? How many of you absolutely love Ecamm and all of the amazing production value that you could do for yourself, for your clients? Game changing. This background PS, by the way, shout out to Bradley Vinson. Thank you so much. That's someone that you actually want to pay attention to in the Ecamm Live community, because he's doing some really awesome and amazing things too. So not only was I able to launch a branded show where I can add logos, titles, lower thirds, and graphics, I could share a screen, drop in video clips, bring on interview guests, use a green screen. Man, you guys, Ecamm Live does it all. But best of all, you have people like Bradley Vinson, Alicio, Luria. Man, the list goes on and on of people that want to help you, right? Shout out to the LGL crew. I see you guys in the comments. You're absolutely amazing. So since launching Lights, Camera, Live, I'm just sharing this with you because I want you to know about this journey, okay? I started off as an ad agency veteran. I dipped my toe into live streaming because I said, why not? Why not give it a try? And since then, since launching Lights, Camera, Live, it became the go-to marketing strategy for making our agency top of mind and tip of tongue. Top of mind and tip of tongue. And suddenly, after every live broadcast, we would get a new lead. This eventually led to new clients, new speaking engagements, trainings, workshops, and my favorite, live video production. So I'm telling you, everything that you're learning about Ecamm, everything that you're learning about running a live stream, all of that, that's something that you can offer this year. Okay? Now, one of the very first live video productions I did was for my good friend, Chef Claudia Sandoval. If you don't know who she was or who she is, she actually won MasterChef, the one with Chef Gordon Ramsay, that one. And the first time she ever did a live video, she hit me up and she said, Stephanie, I've been seeing your live streams, and T-Mobile hit me up and they asked me if I could do a live stream featuring her famous tres leches cake. And back then, all we had was an iPhone, probably like some cue cards from the dollar store. And we made it work. It was a 3-hour broadcast, and we made it work because we had a strategy behind it. And the reason why I tell you that is because a lot of times when people they want to talk to you about live streaming, they want to focus on the gear, right? Get this, get that. That's cool. But sometimes you got to figure out how to get the gears working up here. How do you get people to show up, right? So let me show you what happened after Claudia and I did her first live stream.
So let's talk about some of the results of this campaign.
Yeah, so 1.5 million people went into the actual T-Mobile Tuesdays app. And then as you can see, there are over 100,000 downloads of her book. So they initially got the 100,000,
yes,
but then more just kept coming in.
Yeah, so the ultimate number was 178,543 books.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we achieved what we wanted, what we needed to do.
And the whole reason why we wanted to share this was because a lot of people, when they think about Facebook Live video, they think they need to have like a whole entire production crew. No, as long as you have an idea of what your desired outcome is, what your goal is, what your messaging is supposed to be, and you have a solid promotional strategy behind it, that's solid, right? Yeah. I mean, iPhone 6, no tripod. The hell with you, Amazon.
Yeah. So yeah, T-Mobile came back and sent this awesome email. We can comfortably say that no other winner's cookbook has been such a great promotional effort. We're thrilled with the results and exposure for both you and the book and how successful the overall program performed. It literally blew everyone away how well we did with this campaign. And we were obviously over the moon when we started getting all of these numbers, so yeah.
And ever since then, you just started doing live video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want you to start writing ideas, okay? I see you in the audience. I see you. And this is it. This is where we're going to start brainstorming, okay? Because here's the thing. Since working on that very first project with T-Mobile, MasterChef, and Chef Claudia Sandoval, I've worked on other projects with NASA, with waste management, with the Midwest Digital Marketing Conference, the University of California, San Diego, and so much more. My point is, the future of live streaming is bright. And that's why Ecamm Live and I launched Showrunner, Secrets from the Set. This is a 6-episode miniseries to unlock the opportunities that go hand in hand with remote live video production. So here's a quick peek at the lineup that we have coming your way. I want you guys to pay attention to this. And shout out again to Bradley Vincent because you totally helped me put this together. Okay, let me grab those for you. So the first one today, as I mentioned before, it is going to be, what we're talking about is the evolution of live streaming and remote live video production. Now, evolution of live streaming and remote live video production. And then February 17th, so lock this in on your dates. Let me play that again for you. On the 17th, we are going to be talking about live video producer and client onboarding. That means, okay, I have a client. How do I make sure that this is a smooth process from beginning, middle to end? This is where you want to jot this down because I was telling, don't tell Caleb. But Katie and I had this idea of like, oh, let's give them storyboard templates. Let's give them this. Let's give them that. Like actual stuff that we use in order to get a client up and running. Okay? So that's going to be super helpful. Next, then, we have March 3rd, structure and storyboards. This is where we're going to talk about how important it is for you to have a run of show. More often than not, I would say, gosh, probably 7 out of the 10 projects that I worked on last year, the event organizer didn't really have a solid idea of their run of show. They also didn't have a backup plan for their run of show. So this is your opportunity to get all of that information. Okay? Shh, don't tell Caleb. We're going to have hashtags on this show. Shh, don't tell Caleb. This is coming. Okay, and then so that's going to be March. The other one that we have for you is, so March 24th is going to be planning and production. This is where we get into, oh my gosh, tech and talent can make or break your production. Tech and talent. How do you troubleshoot? So tech, talent, and troubleshooting. We should probably rename that show. Tech, talent, and troubleshooting. We're going to talk about that all on, let me bring that up again, on March 24th. And then on April 7th, seal the deal, pricing your services. So how do you stand out from the sea of sameness with what you have to offer? Okay, because here's the thing, is if you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, there's all these other remote live video producers, how do I stand out from the sea of sameness? That's going to be the episode for you, Okay, that is going to be, let me pull that back up. That is going to be April 7th. Seal the deal, pricing your services. And so if you want to lock all of these in now and put this on your calendar, this is what I have for you. Go to lightscamera.live/ADD ad, and then you'll have all of the lineup. Like I said, it's a 6 mini series episode where we're going to dive into this. And so this is your opportunity. Break out a notebook. Don't drop an F-bomb. This is your opportunity to get like a new, fresh notebook. Jot down all these notes. And please do participate. Drop in your questions. Drop in your comments, because as we build basically your new business, over the next couple of weeks, that's what you're going to be working off of. Okay? That's where you're going to be working off of. All right. So having said that, let's go ahead and move into all of this other stuff that I have for you. Okay, here's a quick pop quiz. Pop quiz, hot shot. Ooh, what movie is that from? Pop quiz, hot shot. I bet you Lemuel's gonna get that. All right, so what percentage of consumers prefer live video from a brand versus a blog post? What would you guess? What percentage of consumers prefer live video from a brand versus a blog post? I don't know about y'all. I don't really go to a site very often for a blog post unless there's a problem that I'm trying to solve. More often than not, I'm probably watching an episode with Diana Gladney and she's showing me like this new Sony camera and I'm like, I want that. How do I set that up? All right, okay, so Elaine Dempsey, she's saying C. Chocolate Twist Yoga is saying C. Good. Ivan is saying C. Wow, a lot of you are saying C. Look at you go. I'm impressed. I am impressed. So the answer is this: 80% of consumers prefer live video from a brand versus a blog post. For those of you that Googled the answer, don't do that. Amzie Jackson, you got it. I love it. Amzie is tuning in from LinkedIn. Shout out to the LinkedIn fam. So wonderful and happy to have you here. So here's a couple of things that you should be thinking about when you're pitching your services, right? When you're talking about how powerful live streaming is, you always have to tell your clients, well, what is it about live video that makes it so engaging? It's the fact that as human beings, we crave a sense of belongingness. When we see a community, we build it. We want to be a part of it. For someone who usually speaks at conferences, I love the little hangouts. I love the networking sessions because I want to know that I have a sense of belongingness. And so when I think about live streaming, it taps into all of our happy brain chemicals, that dopamine, that oxytocin, that serotonin, and those endorphins. A dose of happy brain chemicals. These are all things that you could be sharing with your audience. P.S. by the way, if Alicio is in the audience, please give him a shout out because he put this beautiful thing together and I absolutely adore him. So thank you so much, Alicio. Okay. Live streaming gives your audience a happy dose of brain chemicals because when they feel like they belong, that's when you're able to build rapport. When you're starting to create an environment and in a community where it's a habit, where they're like, Wednesdays, 2:30 p.m., I'm going to be hanging out with Steph. Hey, Luria on Thursdays. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. Okay? The interesting thing that's also helpful to note is that 7 out of 10 event organizers move their in-person event online. What do you think is going to happen in 2021? That number is going to go up. Kevin Lyons and I, we've just been like, there's things that we can do. There are things that we can do in Ecamm that is going to raise the bar, right? I have conversations with Joe Floyd too, who hit me up on LinkedIn and he was basically like, what are you doing? What's your setup? This is your opportunity to start building relationships because I'm a firm believer that there are resources in relationships and I am so thankful that Ecamm provides so many different communities where you can ask your questions and have a safety net to help you prepare for your events. Am I right or am I right? You know I'm right. I'm always right. Great. Here's something else that you should know. Let me go back. I haven't talked about this yet on any of the Ecamm channels yet. But something that I have been dabbling in is live shopping. Now, Lemuel, I know that you're dropping into Amazon Live, and I've got so much in store for you down the line because there's so much more that you can do. But I want to leave you with this fact, is that shoppable videos have higher engagement rates than display advertising, and that's going to be the trend in 2021. Shoppable videos. So you've already heard of Amazon Live. I'm going to share a couple more things with you in today's episode. So like I said, stay until the very end, okay? Here's what else we know that is happening in the industry. E-learning grew by 36% in 2020, and it's expected to continue to grow in 2021. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I remember when I first started Microsoft Teams for my 5-year-old, my kindergartner, I wanted to message the teacher like, can I produce kindergarten for you? Can I help you out here? Let me show you what Ecamm can do in your Microsoft Teams. Here's something else that's very interesting. Again, write this down. These are all things that you can put on your sales page. Somebody's taking notes. So users arriving on an e-commerce site via user-generated content are 184% more likely to purchase. Think about that. Think about that. This is an amazing opportunity. And shout out to Kevin Lyons, who's saying, we produce 100% of our events on Ecamm, from 1-hour webinars to 4-day to 20-speaker conferences. Jump in. Yes, I do a 7-day training. There's going to be one in March. Hands down, I use Ecamm for all of that. So for those of you that are just tuning in, right, what is a live video producer? A live video producer manages a live broadcast remotely without having to be on site. This is something that I actually had started doing, probably only 2 years ago. Unlike someone like Kevin Lyons, who's been doing this for decades, for seminars and all that other stuff, I've only been doing this for 2 years. And I can honestly say that it makes up about 40% of the revenue that I have across all of my companies. So this is an important opportunity for all of you, okay? Think about this. Because those events, it could be a 1-day event, it could be a 3-day event. That's it, Enjoy your vacation. I've always said that early adopters of live streaming would be able to capitalize on their expertise by offering their skill set as a service. Brands will embrace live streaming services that include strategy, production, video optimization, and paid media support. Be thinking about this, okay? Hold up. Be thinking about this. Be thinking about this because here's what's going to happen. Brands are going to reach out to you and they want to know what makes you different. What do you do? Are you only there to help them with the run of show and the actual production, or can you actually help them out with the pre-promotion side? If you think about all of the content creators that Ecamm Network has, all of us have like our own little superpowers. Mine is in marketing. Mine is in marketing, so knowing how to get people to show up, knowing how to repurpose your content, knowing how to leverage that for paid advertising. That's the difference that Lights Camera Live has to offer. Be thinking about what makes you different. Maybe you know everything that there is to know about church live streaming, and that's your niche. Boom, go for it. Own it. I'm not going to touch that, right? I don't know that. Maybe your thing is Amazon Live remote video production. Think about that. I know Jeff Bezos is stepping down as the CEO, but do you think the rest of those people that have shops on Amazon are going to be stepping down? No. So what can you deliver that's going to be the difference that makes the difference? Interesting, right? Good. All right, other things to consider is the fact that when we even talk about like late night television, when the pandemic had started, they're just like, you know what? It's super janky, but it works. They're making it work. And knowing you, most of you, more often than not, I actually do see you in the Facebook group, swapping ideas, kit.co, Amazon affiliate links. I know that you probably have a very, very amazing and souped up studio. I think that would be amazing. All right. So let's talk about the rise of the live video producer. The journey pretty much looks like this. And I see it year after year. Every person that I've met at a conference, every client, every marketer that I've ever talked to, they usually start off with like one live video. They're like, oh, we just want to go live once, see how it works out. And then that's when they realize, boom, dose of happy brain chemicals. OMG, look at this engagement. What else can we do? And then from there, they actually create a live show. When you have a live show, what typically happens is that you start thinking about run of show. Run of show, graphics. Who's doing your graphics? Are you doing graphics? Are you hiring someone to do your graphics? Who's doing your thumbnails? Who are you partnered with as far as affiliates, right? So affiliates, maybe you're even launching your own course, whatever it is. There's so much that happens when you are launching your own live show. And that's the beauty behind it, is that you can actually roll up your sleeves because you're like, I've done this. I have actually gone through the process of learning how to crawl before I ran, right? So this is going to be the most amazing thing for you, because once you've actually mastered your own live show, then what happens is that people will reach out to you and they'll say, can you produce a show for me? Because there are so many entrepreneurs, there are so many brands and marketing teams that don't have the talent in-house. And so they can reach out to you as the live video producer. Now, I don't know if many of you do this, but my good friend Kimberly Flowers, I think it's remote live producer or remote production live, whatever it is. But whenever she's actually doing a show, she actually has like a little 10-minute video that she drops in there and says, P.S. by the way, if you love this show, hire me. Are you doing that? Think about that. Because if you have people tuning into your show already and they're just like, man, I really love those graphics. How do you do that? Knowing that you already have like a 10-second commercial already in there is going to be an absolute game changer. So start thinking about this. Now we're going to be getting into the ideas. Of all the different things that you can do when it comes to remote live video production. Shout out to Amzi, who's saying, I get most of my news from The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. They've mastered remote production. Yes, seeing the evolution of it, love it. Love it. Ooh, I got a lem drop. That's good. Hey. P.S. Hire me. Think about that. Do you already have a 10-second clip of like, look at all the amazing things that I can do for you? Look at all the amazing things that I can do for you in your business, for your Amazon shop. Man, that's absolutely amazing. Mohammed says, damn, that's good. Thank you. And we've got more. So if you're loving this, if you're like, dang, someone else needs to be in here and like taking notes with me so we could like have a mastermind, come through, bring them in, pass it on, right? So let's talk about this. Rise of the live video producer. Let's talk about different industries that you could be tapping into. Okay, for those of you that are watching on a desktop, on a mobile, get your phone, take a screenshot. Take this now. Caleb, we could probably drop this in the Ecamm group. All right. What? Robert is saying, I need to get people excited with my name like they get hyped for a limb dropper. Hey, you know what? When you show up, right? When you show up for people, they show up for you too. So thank you for being here. All right, so let's talk about like the different types of remote live video production that you could be doing, because this is where I see it evolving. This is where I have actually rolled up my sleeves and I've actually done it myself. So the very first one is going to be live shows. There are, entrepreneurs, agencies, nonprofit organizations where they're thinking that I want to have a live show. This is your opportunity when you have them on the phone. Is this a weekly show? Is this a bi-monthly show? Is it monthly or is it quarterly? Think about it that way. The way that you want to position this is that this is going to be a series. It's not a one-time thing, right? Because if I'm creating your graphics, your stingers, and all the things, then let's make this a long-term engagement. That way we could actually see the results. Am I right or am I right? That makes sense, right? Oh, shout out to Chris Wood. He's saying he missed it before, but he's catching it up. We're talking about the evolution of live streaming and the rise of the remote live producer. Okay. So things that we have been talking about so far. The first one is that if you wanted to, you could offer remote live video production for live shows. That could either be weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, quarterly, whatever it is that you want to do. But when you're doing this, you're thinking about this long term. If you're going to do episodic, if you're going to do series, you better have a very, very strong content strategy background. Think about that. You want each show to build upon each other so that way you have those happy brain chemicals. You're creating a dose, right? Of just like, dang, I gotta be there. I gotta get those limb drops. When is that gonna happen? Okay? So think about that. That's gonna be the first one for you. All right, next. What else do we have? Launches. Let's talk about launches. We're talking about product launches, course launches, giveaways, announcements, and conference speakers. Let's first talk about product launches. What can you do with a product launch? Now, this is something that I've actually done many times for my own brand in and of itself. And for Lights Camera Live, we would do a product launch for like, boom, when the next mastermind is going to happen, we would do a product launch. And when we do that, in your run of show, this is your opportunity to tell your client, hey, not only are you going to have a product launch, but let's also do a demo. Let's do a product unboxing. Let's drop in a testimonial. Let's do all the things to make this really, really engaging. For those of you that know someone like, hey, I'm working on this product launch, this is your opportunity to say like, hey, have you ever thought about doing a live stream launch? Here's a couple of examples. These are things that I can do for you to get your audience really excited, because I don't know if you know this, right? Putting back like my marketer hat back on. But anyone that actually views your video, especially on Facebook, you can retarget that audience using Facebook ads. Here's the thing, is that if you've watched this first episode of Showrunner, Secrets from the Set, then I know that you're probably going to be interested in the other episodes. And so it would make sense for Ecamm and I to go ahead and retarget you and say, hey, P.S., by the way, did you want that template for the storyboard? Because boom, here it is. I know that those that are watching this show are going to be highly, highly engaged. So start thinking about that, okay? Shout out to Ecamm Live who's saying Facebook. Is this where we're going to put it, Caleb? Is this where we're going to put all like the goodies? All the goodies? All the fun stuff? Absolutely. Okay. I love it. Okay. So far, we have talked about live shows. All the different live shows that you can do for clients. I would even say for these live shows, man, it doesn't have to be streamed. When I say that, it doesn't have to be streamed to like Facebook, YouTube, and all that other stuff. I find that I'm actually doing some live shows in Zoom for clients because they only want it for the company. And we'll talk a little bit about that up there, okay? So we talked about launches, product launches, course launches, right? This is actually really smart. How many people do we know are actually launching a course? I know a bunch of my friends that are leveraging Thinkific to launch a course. If I was a remote live producer and I wanted to work with course creators, is there a Facebook group that I could tap into? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So if I were doing course launches with live streaming, would it be a smart idea for me to share a case study in a Facebook group like Thinkific or Teachable? I think so. I think that would be a fantastic idea. And in fact, I'm actually going to teach you how to get leads from your live streams in a couple of the episodes. So if you haven't already, you want to get all of the episodes on your calendar right now, go over to lightscamera.live/ad, because I already have all of the episodes lined up. Get it on your calendar, because if you're loving this, dang, we're already like 30 minutes in. If you're loving this, trust me, every other show after this is going to be jam-packed. You have me for 6 episodes and then boom, You do what you got to do. You go hang out in the Facebook groups. You reach out to Doc. You figure out what you got to do, okay? All right, so then let's talk about live events. You could do virtual summits. You could help people launch their virtual summits. This is where I want you to start thinking about, if people are doing their virtual summits, on what platforms are they doing it? Are they doing it on Zoom? Cool. Learn everything that there is that you need to know about Zoom. Are people hosting their events on things like Hopin? Boom. Know everything that you need to know about Hopin. Talk about Ecamm virtual camera and how you could load that in for them, right? Okay. Then the other one, what's the other one? It's Run the World. Run the World is a new one. So be thinking about this. Think about like Hey Summit and all the different things that you can do. So you have these virtual summits. The one that I do is shareholder meetings. I do shareholder meetings for tech companies because these tech companies have investors that they have to report back to. And they don't want it to be another boring PowerPoint. They don't want it to be another boring Zoom meeting. So you bring an Ecamm Live into Zoom, and now you've stepped it up into a whole nother level. If you knock it out of the park the very, very first time, how many shareholder meetings are there? Quarterly, monthly, annual? Do whatever it is that you have to do. Who attends these shareholder meetings? Key decision makers. When they see what it is that you have to do, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call you. They're going to call you. They were like, I want her. I want her to produce my show. I want him. Do whatever it is that you have to do. Be thinking about this. Okay? Thank you, Ecamm. Ecamm said, help the businesses make meetings not suck. Yes, people are over that. You got to do something new. Do something new. If you guys are loving this, go ahead and show me some hearts. Show me like, what are your ahas right now? Okay? Because I've been keeping quiet about this whole entire time. I was like, Katie, I got like this whole deck for you. We're going to do this. We're going to talk about that. Oh, Damian Donaldson, he just came through. He said, genius, shareholder meetings, right? So for those of you that are just tuning in, because I just saw the number spike, remote live video production for shareholder meetings, because who are in those meetings? Key decision makers, people that sit on the board, C-level executives, right? They have their reputations on the line. If you could help them look good, sound good, be amazing on camera, then do that. That's an opportunity for you, okay? All right, moving right along. Investor calls, same thing. Investors, pitches, agency pitches, okay? Team building exercises. I don't know if you've realized this, but a lot of companies, now we're going in like the B2B direction, a lot of companies have dollars set aside for team building exercises. And so just recently, the 360 Marketing Squad and I, we did a virtual escape room game via Zoom. And it was so cool. It was so cool that I actually ended up booking a virtual escape room for my family on New Year's Day because I'm here in San Diego. My brother is in Texas. And so all the families got together and we did this virtual escape room game. If you think about, if you wanted to work with B2Bs, think about your target audience. If you want to work with B2Bs, they have already dollars set aside for team building exercises. Now, who would you want to reach out to? Companies that actually do team building exercises. If you could show them like, hey, let's take the curriculum that you normally do in person and now let's make it virtual. Walk them through that. Right? Debbie Mason is saying, yes, it's my business pivot this year. Didn't see it coming. Absolutely. Virtual escape rooms. Yes, virtual escape rooms is totally a thing. Even recently, my daughter and I, we love this website called outschool.com because they have these virtual classes that she could take. And one of the classes on there was a unicorn virtual escape room. That gave me the idea of like, man, if you were doing even just birthday parties, because how many of you are parents and you're thinking about birthday parties and like, man, how do I make this memorable? What can I do different? Again, Ecamm Live, remote live video production. These are opportunities for you. Again, I'm throwing ideas at you. These are money-making ideas for you to level up your live streaming, okay? Good. All right. What else can we talk about? Birthdays. We talked about birthdays. Ceremonies. I had a really, really interesting project that I did last year where it was one CEO, was bowing out of the company and wanted to welcome another CEO. And they wanted to create a ceremony. It was kind of like a passing of the baton. Normally they would do this in office, but because of what's happening, they wanted to do it virtually. So think about ceremonies, traditions, things that you can do online and start building for that. Robert saying, last year uncovered a whole lot of greatness for some of us. Yes. OMG. Magicians. Yes. I'm a big, huge fan of Justin William. P.S. by the way, Magic for Humans on Netflix. From what I heard, he actually uses Ecamm. Absolutely amazing. Look at entertainers. Look at entertainers. I'm giving you a whole list. People, leads, things that you could tap into, Facebook groups that you need to be joining, right? Lem drops always makes me laugh. Even my drop zone internet likes Stephanie. Okay. All right. So fundraisers. Oh, yes. Fundraisers is game changer. Fundraisers, nonprofit organizations, all of the galas that they used to have, the red carpet events that they used to have, black ties, now they need to bring that online. One of the clients that I actually worked with, we brought in the Ecamm Live virtual camera into, it was like a virtual gala, and we used a software called Remo.co, which was so cool because you would have this little avatar and you could move from one table to the other. Think about, I know live streaming production. I also know all the amazing cool things that you can do online using Remo.co. Gather is another cool one. It looks like a like an old school Nintendo game. Very, very fun to use. All right. Weddings. Weddings is another one. So my brother-in-law is actually getting married next month. And so my mother-in-law called me up and she's like, hey, video, don't you? And I was like, I kind of know something about video. She's like, well, your brother-in-law is going to be getting married. And so we want to do something. So think about weddings. What can you do? And so we started brainstorming. I was like, well, before the ceremony actually starts, what we can do is we could play what you would normally have. It's kind of like a video where it shows my brother-in-law when he was a baby, when he was growing up, and then we could do the same thing for the bride. What if we actually reached out to all of the wedding guests and say, can you submit a video just to congratulate the couple, to share some love? And then that could be another video that you could pre-play into the private Zoom or wherever it is that you want to do. I've actually had another client where we created a Facebook group because that's where a majority of the users were, the viewers, the attendees. And so we just created a private Facebook group and we broadcasted the actual wedding into that. Okay, so these are all ideas for you. Damian Donaldson is saying, great advice. I've done a few live events, fast pitches, business case competitions. Yes. Look, even chocolate twist yoga. I have my daughter's sweet 16 coming up. What are some fun things that you can do? Virtual escape rooms. You could have her best friends send in videos. You could play the videos. All of the wonderful things. This is Remo.co. I did a whole video about this, about how amazing Remo.co is because you could actually switch up the background and do some really cool stuff with that. All right, cool. We have a couple of other things that I want to talk to you about. Before we get into the rest of this, I want to let you know we have a giveaway. Okay, so I'm giving away a 1-year subscription to Restream Professional, Restream Pro, plus an all-access pass to Unite 2021. It's a conference that I'm speaking at, and it's all about digital marketing in 2021. And so you have an opportunity to win that. One winner from today. Make sure that you enter, okay? You're going to go over to lightscamera.live/SR, right? And then you're going to enter for a chance to win. So that's going to be the grand prize is going to be Restream Professional plus Unite 2021. And then we're going to have 4 runner-ups. So literally there's 5 of you. Caleb, when I told him, I was like, hey, can we do a giveaway? He's like, what do you need now? This is it. This is it. So for those of you that are tuning in, let me see. There's like almost 100 of you right now. Jump in there, lightscamera.live/SR, and that's going to be your opportunity to enter for a chance to win. And P.S., by the way, we are going to have other opportunities to win on the other episodes. So again, if you haven't already, lightscamera.live/add. Every single episode, I've reached out to the friends. I'm like, hey, do you have something that I can give away? Because why not? Let's do this. All right. So let's talk about what else there is. We talked about weddings. Here's live shopping. Lem, I hope you're there. I hope you're like, you got internet access. Facebook Live. If you haven't heard already, you could actually create a Facebook event and broadcast live into the event. That event in and of itself could be a free event or a paid event. This is great for nonprofit organizations or just like entrepreneurs on the come up trying to find a solution that is pretty much turnkey. Because what do we know about Facebook? I always have to stop myself from like cursing. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on Facebook. And so if Facebook is able to create a Facebook event that you could put paid media behind it to get people to register and be a part of it and get paid, right? Then you're broadcasting into the event. That's an amazing opportunity. You could do Facebook Live shopping. If your client or even you, right? Even you as an entrepreneur, if you have a Facebook shop, you could connect it. So when I'm streaming, I can say like, oh, you want the video script maker? Boom, it shows up on screen. And what happens is it actually shows up on your screen as a product overlay. It shows up on both desktop and on mobile. And anytime anyone shares that video, let's say if you broadcast it to a page, that product, that feature item is going to follow that with you. Caleb, if you're there, I do have a step-by-step tutorial on this, so you could go ahead and drop that in the comments. Oh, okay, so Facebook Live shopping, that could be your thing. That could be your thing. If you want to niche down, just be like, I know everything that there is to know about the Facebook Live ecosystem. I know about Facebook events, creating a paid event, right? I know how to do ads behind that, and we could run your show into an active Facebook event, okay? That's true. This is very true. This is very true. All right, cool. All right, so Amazon Live. This to me, listen. If you have your kit.co, if you have your Amazon affiliate, if you're an Amazon influencer, if you haven't tapped Amazon Live, that's an amazing opportunity for you. When I was hanging out with my good friend Sean Cannell, he's like, Stephanie, if people took more time to leverage the Google Keyword Planner or Google Trends just to see what people are searching for throughout the entire year, they could create an entire show about that. Let's think about it. It's February right now. For those of you that are watching live, it's February. So husbands are looking for gifts, wives are looking for gifts, significant others, things of that sort. What can you do, right? What would the live streamer in your life want for a Valentine's Day gift? Let me tell you, ain't nothing wrong with another DSLR. Ain't nothing wrong with another DSLR. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay, so when you're thinking about Amazon Live, right, you can do this for yourself as an entrepreneur. Take a look at Google Trends. What are people searching for throughout the entire year? That's going to be your opportunity to create that tentpole programming. Are you guys loving this? Are you guys loving this? Right? More gear. Yes. Whatever it is that you want to do. Then here's the other thing. If you know someone that is launching a book, writing a book, you can have an Amazon Live show that only features authors. So you want Simon Sinek, you want Seth Godin, you want Stephanie Liu, right? You could say, I produce a show that highlights up and coming authors, and this is what we can do. Here's the thing is that because most authors, when we're writing a book, the publishers have an expectation of how many books we can sell within an expected period. So if you were thinking about this is an opportunity for you to go on Amazon to see like what's on pre-order right now. What is on pre-order right now? Who do I need to reach out to? What publishers do I need to reach out to? Heck, you could even reach out to a publishing firm and say, for all of your authors, I would love to give them an opportunity to hop on my show, and we could promote their book on Amazon Live. I was waiting for this. You're back from raking. Right? Quick, go over to Amazon, but come back, because there's more, right? There's always more. So if you think about authors, right? Think of like all the books that you love to read. Which authors would you love to reach out to and say, I would love to introduce you to my show. This is how my show works. And people can buy directly from the live stream because you are there. That's an opportunity. The second one is if you wanted to reach out to products, companies, and just say like, hey, I noticed that you have, right? Okay. You reach out to the ones that may have like a iffy kind of rating and be like, hey, let's actually do a live product demo to answer questions because people have questions about your product and your reviews are right now are a little so-so. So let's actually give them the info that they need because we know that reviews are super important when people are going to purchase online. Okay? Robert Kennedy says, I'm calling some PR companies today. Yes, please tell me what you're going to do. If you've learned any ahas from today, tell me, what is it that you're going to do? Okay? What is it that you're going to do? Man, Caleb, I was already looking. I was like, dang, it's already 3:25. We might actually go over. All right. So the other one when it comes to live shopping, and I haven't even told a lot of people about this, but it's called LiveScale. And LiveScale, we'll have to do another show on this. LiveScale is this amazing platform that actually ties into a Shopify store. So think of it as your home shopping network, but actually tied to Shopify. And what's cool about it is that in the user interface, you could say like, hey, here's this new Ecamm mug, right? As soon as you show it on the screen in their dashboard, it shows you like how many sales are happening. And then you could do polls on it and all that other stuff. So hold up, let me show you this again. LiveScale and Shopify. That's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Louis Vuitton, all the high fashion brands are using LiveScale. Hold up, let me say that again. High fashion brands are using LiveScale for live shopping opportunities. With most consumers not being able to go to the mall, right, and shopping online, that's an opportunity for you to get some of that marketing, get some of that advertising budget. Okay? You guys, come on. Ties into Shopify. And it's such a game changer. LiveScale. It shows you the dashboard. People can register. It's another game changer. We'll have another show for that in the future. So again, if you want to be notified anytime that we go live about Showrunner, Secrets from the Set, lightscamera.live/ad, right? Game changer. All right, let's go on. Let's see what else I have for you because we're about to wrap up. All right, hold up. So other things that you can do is remote video recording, not even going live, just helping people record their videos. This was the part that like tripped me out the most is that, again, I speak on stages and I'm a live streamer, so I'd always talk about live streaming. Then we saw a bunch of the conferences that we usually attend now bringing their events online. But the other speakers that didn't talk about video didn't know what to do. So they started reaching out and they're like, Stephanie, can I have your gear guide? Can you walk me through this? You know what, Steph? Can you just record this for me? And I was like, that's a thing. That is now a thing. You can do media training for speakers. Media training for speakers that need help with their gear, knowing how to communicate. You can help them record their presentations because it's not just about like talking to the camera, but what are some other elements that they could do to draw an audience in? Okay. Lisa Johnson, for example, says remote video recording is my interest. Right? Absolutely amazing. So these are opportunities for you to think about how can you expand your services, expand your ideas about remote live video production, right? You can do remote video recording for keynote speakers, regular speakers, C-level executives. This is where it's really cool because C-level executives, they want to try something different. They don't always want to just send an email out to their employees about what's happening. If they could do a video that tells their employees about the future of the company, and inspire them to continue to stay on and show them the vision that they have for 2021, that's going to be really, really impactful. So that's your opportunity, again, to do that remotely. That's an amazing opportunity, okay? Let's see. And then testimonials, right? Can you capture testimonials remotely? Absolutely. In fact, here's a question. It says TBD. So TBD is saying, what does remote video recording look like? Well, here in Ecamm Live, there's a guest interview feature. I just give them a link, boom, bring them in, do the lower third graphics if I want to, and then just hit record. What usually happens in these sessions is that you're going to have to coach the client. You're going to have to coach the client. You're going to say, hey, you know what? There's maybe too much headroom going on over there, or we have to fix your audio, all of those other things. But if you can help them, what are they going to do? They're going to turn right around and be like, hey, I have a friend who needs help too. Can you help them out? Right? This is an opportunity. Kevin Lyons is saying, in the medical space, doctors and nurses need media training for live education delivery. Lots of opportunity here. Yes, in fact, something that happens a lot in California is we have fires, forest fires. And so it's helpful when we have emergency first responders go on camera and say, hey, you need to evacuate, or this needs to happen. If you're able to put together some type of programming that says, hey, let's go on live video, let's get their attention. Because in most cases, if someone is just going live on their phone, let's be honest, when someone's going live on their phone and I notice that it's not produced, sometimes I'm just like, I scroll past by it. But if this is something where it's going to change lives, that's what I want to do. This is going to be an opportunity for me to say like, hey, let's do breaking news. What are some lower thirds that you can put together? Sometimes I've actually found, I think his name is Kerry Smith. He's a really good friend of mine. He does this for health and emergency services, right? Health and emergency services. So think about the different opportunities that you have there. So we talked about remote video recording, keynote speakers, C-level executives, testimonials, emergency broadcasting, things that you have to do. The rise of the live video producer, all the different industries that you can tap into. Live shows, launches, live events, and live shopping. The 4 L's. The 4 L's of the live video producer. That's what's going on. All right, here's an example of what I've done for a client. He reached out to me. Tom, he was so sweet. He's like, this is what we're doing for our annual shareholder meetings. What can I do to make this look different? And I was like, well, we could go ahead and set you up with an actual overlay. And now we could go ahead and turn it into something like this. So that way when your investors are on your call, they're like, boom, this is how it looks like. So whether you just want to focus on graphics, that's totally fine. But branded graphics and all that other stuff, these are things that you can put into your packaging and your services. Good. Client onboarding, this is something that we're going to be talking about next week. So everything that goes into pre-production, production, and post-production. I'm already giving you notice that we are going to have templates, storyboards, things that you can use for your programming, okay? So definitely go ahead and keep that in mind. I'm taking a look at the comments to see like who else is here. When you're thinking about this whole entire process, because someone had just asked about pricing, you have to factor in these 3 stages, okay? Pre-production, production, and post-production. In pre-production, you're going to have your tech rehearsals. You're going to talk about your run of show, your graphics, all the things, okay? Because you may have a C-level executive where he says like, oh, my Wi-Fi's pretty good. It may be good for a Zoom meeting, but not for a live stream, right? It's your reputation that's on the line. So that's what you have to do. And then you have production. And that's when you're actually producing the show. Think about this. Are you going to be the solo producer, or are you going to have a second live producer that's going to be helping you out? I know for a 13-hour live stream that I had to do, I was like, I need to eat breakfast. I have to feed my family, the ones that are slamming the door. Right? So think about the whole production for it. And then in post-production, this is where I feel like most people are actually leaving money on the table as well. Because after post-production, once the actual broadcast has ended, right? Think about this. If you were doing live shopping, if you were able to provide a report that says this is how many viewers that we had tune in, this is how many people actually ordered from our live show, you're creating a case study. Okay? You're creating a case study. For those that are doing product launches, courses, things of that sort, think about how you can help them repurpose their content. Do you have a system for that? If not, then you want to go ahead and check out Digital Confetti because I walk you through my whole entire process. Okay? Post-production, every single one of those areas is where you can roll that into your packaging and pricing. And so for those of you that were just asking, let me go ahead and give you another, let me throw this up for you again as far as the schedule. So today's evolution of live streaming and the rise of the live video producer. Next week is going to be client onboarding. We're going to answer all of your questions about how to run all of that. And then what we have on March 3rd is structure and storyboards, because how you communicate the run of show is going to vary between your clients. Some are going to be very visual. Some want to be hands-on. Do all of that amazing stuff. Okay? What is... There's a super sticker. This is like my first time actually seeing this. Okay, and then March and April, we have planning and production, seal the deal, pricing your services. There's a whole entire episode dedicated for that. Caleb, if you could put this down in the notes, maybe I'll share with them my calculator. It's an estimate template. So when someone tells you, this is how many people we're going to have on there, how many overlays we need, all of that stuff, you have a calculator. So yeah, maybe I should add that in there. Okay, you guys, that is a wrap for Showrunner, Secrets from the Set, the very, very first episode. And again, if you guys are interested, we do have a giveaway. Enter for a chance to win a 1-year subscription to Restream Professional, plus an all-access pass to Unite 2021. That's a $685 value right there. Plus, 4 of you are also going to still get access to Unite 2021. I'm speaking there. I'm obviously going to be talking about live streaming. So in addition to all of the 6 series episodes that you have right now, you'll get a bonus lesson on top of it. And you know I always bring the good. It's the calculator for me. Yes! Debbie! Oh, hold up. I need to move this away. Yes. This was awesome. My mind is bursting with ideas, and that's exactly what this show is about. This show is about helping you figure out how you can level up your live stream. And if you haven't done so already, if you don't have Ecamm Live, go to lightscamera.live and grab it right then and there, because that's going to be your opportunity to give it a go. Before I let you go, I got this song stuck in my head. Before I let you go, what questions do you have? I'll give you a minute to drop them in there, because I already went over my time. Caleb, we're going to have to keep this in mind. Oh, love it. Arnold is saying, hello from the Netherlands. Great show. Lots of great ideas. Thank you, Stephanie. Remote video recording production is what I want to explore and execute this year. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. And so as the weeks go by, we're going to be talking about how to build rapport with your clients, how to get repeat clients, word of mouth, all of the things. Let me see. If you have a question, go ahead and type a Q in front of it. I learned that from my girl, Luria. That way I could give you some time. Kevin Lyons says, awesome show. Remote production will future-proof your career. Yes, this is actually really awesome and amazing too, because once the whole 2020 had happened, I used to work 4 days a week. I now only work 2 days a week. And being able to do remote live video production where I say, hey, Hubs, just for this one day, for the next 3 hours, I'm just going to do this, and this is how much income it's bringing in. So happy about it. So happy about it. Prima is asking, are you a solo showrunner? I am! Prima is just me. What other talented people do you employ? I have actually hired a second live producer to help me out with a couple of things. I know that Ecamm and we reached out to other graphic designers in the Ecamm Live community to create our overlays. So Bradley Vinson, Alicia Owe, absolutely amazing. Roberto says, interesting business concept, especially for the current season we are in. Elaine Dempsey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. So much gold today. Oh, here's a... Kevin says, how do you prevent potato head syndrome in client work? Just don't even have them do filters to begin with. Ooh, How can Ecamm help me? I'm a vocal coach. This is an amazing opportunity for Luis. As a vocal coach, you want to teach these speakers, these keynote speakers, C-level executives, the media training part about vocal variety, how to use a mic, right? Different mics that you can use. You know, if you want to use a handheld mic, would that make sense? Do you want to use one that like loops around your ear, a lavalier? Pros and cons. This is a great opportunity for you to help them amplify their stories with the gear that they have, right? So think about that. What equipment are you using? I am using a Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti, my gosh, GH5 and an Ecamm mug to power the show. Alrighty, good. You guys, you've been absolutely amazing. For any other questions that you have, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'll find them wherever it is. Please do reach out, show some love. And having said that, let me go ahead and give a shout out to my other content creators. So, today was Showrunner. That's Wednesday. Thursday is going to be my girl, Gloria, Go Live Now. That's going to be Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. She always goes above and beyond. If gear is your thing, talk to her. She does some amazing stuff there. The stream show with Strick and Brandt, that's going to be on Sundays at 7 p.m. So, you know, when you're winding down from the weekend, tap into that show. It's a good one. And then, of course, the amazing, the wonderful Bradley Vincent. He will teach you amazing things that you could do in keynote. This stuff, man, absolutely amazing. Game changer right there. Here's another question that just kind of slid through. Let me get this for you. Let me get this out of the way. While I'm answering this for you, while we're waiting, Michelle is saying, where can I learn about your products? Michelle, just hit me up on DM. I know you, you know me. Can I see a recording from this session? Pierre, wherever you're watching from, you will find a replay for that. Oh, Robert Kennedy says he has at least three actions. Oh, and then there's Podcaster Hour is on Mondays. Caleb, thank you so much. Yes, I know about that Blue Yeti. I've heard that a lot from Doc as well. So having said that, friends, that concludes the show. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Appreciate you. It's been up on my mind. Oh, it's hard to resist. I'll see you next week if you haven't done so already.